G'day everyone, and welcome back to another video, this time solely focused on drawing. You see, I have had an incredible idea to participate in a daily drawing challenge during the entire month of October. I have lost my marbles trying to finish every single drawing on time, but thankfully Eric was here to sort of carry me through when it comes to recording everything, or at least recording most of the visual aspects, things like timelines and whatnot, because a lot of my ramblings were sort of had to be cut out, which is why I'm recording this post-factum. So this is the first drawing, or at least the work-in-progress version of the first drawing. This one was based around the game seasons, and I mainly elected to just capture all of the different stages of the season's game, with the protagonist of the game, Laura Vanderboom, positioned in the center of the drawing itself. Here's another work-in-progress version. This one is significantly more detailed. I like 3 of the 4 seasons on this one. Not so much a fan of the autumn. I think that the blood splatter is a lot more significant than it would be realistically. It's almost like it's almost as though it's a relief, like a stone relief in the form of red splotches on the wall. I'm quite happy about the red smear of red paint, let's just say. You can never be too certain about what YouTube is going to ban nowadays. Here's another work-in-progress version of the lake drawing. I tried several different ideas for the lake prompt. None of them worked out until I sort of settled on this thing being like creating rings of light in the water by Laura herself. I don't know why I elected to completely fill those by hand. I think that could have just been a fill tool, but that's besides the point. I think that this might be one of my favorite drawings in the entirety of the project at large, simply because of how cool it looks. Several of my friends and even a couple of co-workers described it as more like a portal than, you know, a girl sitting at the edge of a pier and making rings on the water. The next one is Arles. Now, one of the detriments about being bilingual is that I have no idea how to pronounce Arles, so you will have to stick with me being inconsistent in my naming of this French town. For this one, I've elected to quite literally take a different angle at the bedroom in Arles painting by Vincent van Gogh. With that being said, I also decided to make it significantly darker than it was in the original drawing, in the original painting. I wish that I had some kind of an idea as to why I chose what I chose, but realistically it's quite literally just a much darker and much more just almost want to say cozy feeling bedroom in Arles. Not that the bedroom in Arles is not cozy, it's just that this one is significantly darker and significantly more homey. Here's me adding some dithering in the form of like a singular, well, I guess it's 2 lines of pixels making shadows where there previously weren't a whole bunch of shadows. I did originally think to add Van Gogh here himself, but I couldn't figure out a way to put him into the composition without it looking awkward. And later down the line in Laketober, we're probably going to see an example of me putting the character inside of a composition that I didn't anticipate, or rather that I've already done without said character, and it looking so artificial that despite liking the idea, I absolutely hated the execution. But alas, at that point I had no time to actually redo the entire thing. Here's me adding some shadows, adding more shadows. One of the things that I decided not to rather play around with is to add texturing to the walls. You will see on the back of the walls there's like a couple of, well, a couple. There's more than a few different cracks of varying shades of darkness. And for this, for the wall that has the window on it, I decided to also add a few more. I also then added just a touch of light, just so the entire composition is feeling that little bit more warm and, I guess, inviting, because it did kind of look like a horror game still, as opposed to anything else. I also decided to switch the black cube to a white one because it just it sticks out, but it does grab your attention significantly more than it did back when it was still black. So there's that. Here's me fiddling with some of the window colors, which I don't know. I think at the time I thought that these were gonna be like almost like folds on the curtains, but they just look like weird blotches. One of the key things that you will probably realize about this entire thing is that I did not. I had some ideas for what I wanted to do. I had no ideas as to what I wanted to do in some of the other drawings, as we will soon discover. So yeah, this is the finished product. And this is the finished product for the Harvey's box. I hate... No, it's a good drawing. It's just like... it's very messy, and I kind of wish that I had a bit more time to redo the whole thing. Unfortunately, I didn't, and so it looks like that. And the next one is case 23. Case 23, just like Seasons, has 4 distinct stages to it that don't necessarily intersect with one another on account of being in 4 different, time frames. I sort of just elected to make it to sort of capture the snapshot of every single stage. At the top left you have the crow from the fall. Was it summer? I think it was summer. At the bottom left you have the spring, with the shadow of the suspect, namely Robert Hill. Sort of, I don't remember if I added breaking glass effects, but I think I should hope that I did. At the top right, you're going to have Laura that was killed in the fall? Whatever. That woman. You've seen her if you've played any of the Cube Escape games. Or at least most of the Cube Escape games. And then at sort of bottom left / the center is going to be the Detective Dale Vandermeer himself. In what I can only describe as an awkward position. Because again, drawing under pressure is always fun and always a cool experience. I recommend it, despite the tone of my voice going higher, which suggests that I'm lying. Yeah, here's a fast forward to Dale being completed, as well as Laura. Laura, funnily enough, uses the exact same colors that she did back in Seasons, which I demonstrate just right now, as it happens. Oddly enough, I forgot to add the cracks. Yeah. Or maybe I didn't forget to add the cracks. Maybe they didn't look good. Regardless, here's the finished product. Here's the finished drawing. I am quite happy about how this one turned out, considering how colorful and somewhat messy it is. I especially like all of the dithering that I've elected to do on the dead woman part of this drawing. And on top of everything else, it kind of just... I mean, it holds a special place in my heart because it's the first Cube Escape game that I sort of completed when I was catching up on the entire series. I've discovered it before, but Cube Escape Case 23 was the first one that I've completed that was like on time. So there's that. So yeah, these are the first 5 drawings for the month of Laketober. I'm very excited about the challenge and I'm very excited to participate in it. Hopefully you're just as excited about the contest as I am, and will tune in to see the next drawings. Until then, I'll see you around.